Hello, 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 my loves. It's Jah with EQ with Jah. So, I wanted to talk about a little thing that we call awareness. Yay! So, in the state of where the world is, awareness is quite clear. There is no way that people can't see what's going on in the world. There's no way we can't say we don't understand race relations. There's no way we can't understand political issues. And there's no way we can't understand socioeconomic. There's no way, because now everyone in the goddamn world knows where we stand as far as awareness, okay? Our physical awareness of the physical world that we have as a collective conscious have created. Now, I found it very interesting how me myself, when I went through life and I lived in my 20s and partied and all that stuff, I was a social butterfly, but I realized I was always drunk when I did it. I always realized I don't like being social sober. It's too much energy. I always knew that. But when you drink, you're like, whatever, have it, universe. And so after a while, that became my identity as a young man. My awareness didn't matter anymore. It was only about fitting in with the flow, going with the group, going with the culture. And in that time, I felt more alone by myself emotionally and in my internal world, being surrounded by 100,000, 505, what doesn't matter, people, than when I was by myself. And I just find it interesting that right now, again, everything is happening in this world. However you want to take it because it's going to keep happening. I'm not here to judge any topic or situation. My point of perspective is it's happening. So as it's happening, now what? Not what happened back in the day or why it happened or how it got there. That's important too. But as it's happening, now what? I'm a now what person. I'm a big picture person. Little picture happens. But the big perspective is I now recognize that people are more closer emotionally with distance than they are when they had actual proximity to each other. Now, this is fascinating to me because I love behavioral science. I love anything that has to do with sociology. I love anything that has to do with the human condition, the psyche, whatever, because everything that we do and know is conditioned. How I speak, I have no idea where this type of tone came from, darling. But it's part of my personality. But at some point in my life, I heard someone speaking like this. I personally think when I was younger, it was when I watched Dynasty and Diane Carroll. I'm telling you, honey, I was always about being bougie, proper, intelligent, and ratchet all in the same breath, because it was one of those moments of this is the conscious awareness that we do to each other as old culture. As we stand right now, we are no longer in an old world. Everything that we know as of right now is a digital world. We are no longer in a brick and mortar system only. They can still exist, but we are literally in digital marketing, digital food services, digital, everything's digital, shopping, everything. You don't even need to leave your house to have everything brought to you. This has never been in any time in history where this much awareness to what the human condition actually wants versus what we're producing to feed someone else's need but not know why we're even playing the game. This is why I say it's very important to start talking to yourself in an objective way. You always will have your subjective emotions about what you feel and how you felt and why you think something, but those are only subjective because you haven't done the work, you haven't experienced it, and most of the time it's just a reaction or a follow-up to somebody else's experience or opinion. So we now have the opportunity to sit back and say emotionally, what do I want from this world? When I walk out into this world, what do I see happening for myself? Not what do I see happening around me, not what are my friends doing, all that. That's great. Friends are beautiful. Tribe is amazing. I will never be able to contradict myself because being alone is important just as much as being part of a social group is important. But at the same time, some people don't need it. Like me, myself, I don't need to be part of a social group, but I'm a social person. You understand? I don't need 5 motherfuckers that's kicking it with me all the time to feel like a whole person. That's not me. I personally like to be by myself because I'm enough people for myself. But when I go out, that's why I seem to have more energy for people. That's why it seems that I'm more outgoing and energetic. I tell people, I'm no more outgoing than the next person. I just understand that my awareness to what I'm conditioned to believe does not belong to me. And if I'm aware of it when it's happening, I get the choice and the option to use my free will to say, do I follow the same path that got me nowhere because I've been in this cycle, or do I take a different, today not that. And out of it nowhere, because I took a different route, a different option, a different choice from my free will, I got a new awareness or clarity of something that was meant to be brought into my life. Again, people say that. You go in the same circles every day, hanging out with the same groups. Now, let me tell you, if you go back after COVID and hang out with the same know-nothing groups of people, I'm sorry. Don't complain about your life. Don't complain about you ain't getting no more money. Don't complain about you ain't making it, because you get to reflect on every single character, person, environment, whatever you've been force-fed by society when you were told, go out and get a job because you have to do this. Go out and do this. Now everybody can work from home and most people are unemployed. So, because of relying on other people to take care of us. This is the point. If you emotionally don't know who you are, then your awareness of what you logically want won't matter, because you're only going to emotionally go at what the tribe says. You understand? If a group of people say, we like this, and you're like, well, I don't know if I like it, but if they like it, I trust them. Okay. Trusting another person is not that doesn't mean you like it. Trusting someone just gives you a parameter of, okay, well, usually their taste is aligned with mine, so I might give it a gander. It doesn't mean you make it your own. Someone else's awareness of life is not your perspective to take and live by. You just get a perspective of it and say, okay, that's their awareness, that's their clarity, that's where they belong in this place on this earth at this time. That's how they feel. That's how they feel. That's not how I feel. That's not where I belong. So I want people to really pay attention to, this is a golden opportunity. As much as look, again, fucked up shit's been happening on this earth since the beginning of time. It is just now documented. There's people who are like, Juwan, don't you care that this is going on? Of course I care. But it's always been going on. That's why you have activists. What do you think an activist is? I've been an activist my whole life. We do stuff when no one's watching or is around or never gets notoriety or never gets attention. This is the point of living a life of authenticity so that you don't ever have to lie about who you are. This is the point of being genuine and consistent in your moves so that you don't have to lie about anything, because your track record will speak for itself. This is the point of why I say I don't stop because the world all of a sudden has the time to pay attention to itself. I got to keep going, because this is the point. When I grew up, I didn't have too many adults outside of the paradigm of what was controlled in a world that wasn't made for them. I grew up watching other artists and black people and Hispanic people and white people of all different backgrounds always talking about their background of where they came from just to get to some stupid playing field that we know is rigged. No, I'm not about to sit and struggle to play this game when you know it's rigged. How about you do you? And now that I see that your granddaddy and your granddaddy and your grandpappy created a whole legacy, I'm going to do that for myself, and I don't need permission to do it because they sure the hell didn't. This is life. This is the awareness of your consciousness. So when you know that if I go out and I meet a group of people, meet people who have conversations about life, meet people who want to talk to you about you and actually ask about your day, meet people who don't want to just, come on, let's just get drunk. No. Those aren't my friends. I'm sorry. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting drunk. I get drunk. But if your only moment of wanting to hang out with me is, I don't want to talk, can we just drink? Nope. Go find somebody else to be codependent with your depression and your issues with, because you're choosing your free will to, instead of just say, you know what, I feel like drinking, but also, like, can I talk for a minute? Sure. That's great, because then I feel closer to you. Do you know how many conversations I've had with people where they've been drunk and the next day I'm like, hey, that was a great conversation. I don't remember. That crushed me, because that means in that moment they were so inauthentic with their own soul's urge and need to want connection that once their ego was sober, they didn't even know. That's the whole point of learning your ego and your soul. They both have different wants and yearns. The body's always hedonistic. It's always going to want more. The soul is always going to like have a remembrance of what it needs but not know how to get it. So you have to align the two at all times so that you stay connected to your source. Your source is things that come out of you that you don't really know came out of you. How you speak, how you think, what you write, how you feel. This is the point of exploration. When you're aware of these things, and then you have friends and a colony of people around you who reflect not stagnant growth that are ideals of how you feel someone should live their life, but an actual group of solid individuals who only are growing themselves and enjoy just leisure time and energy with you, and to check in to give you back energy. Because that's what it's about, is giving back the equal amount of energy so that we feel balanced and wanting to reciprocate a relationship. This is what it means to go back out here. Again, these dating apps are the same thing. People are swiping, but they don't even know what they're swiping for. They're just looking for something that catches their eye, like food. Oh, that looks good. And then once you eat it, you're over it. You don't want it no more. You get tired of certain styles of food, right? Just get tired of certain types of dating and certain types of people. If you keep dating the same flavor, you're going to have the same output. So everything is full cycle, full circle. But the most important thing, that, again, I said this word a lot, awareness, but I want to inundate it into your, because awareness is everything. I'm aware right now that I'm speaking. I'm aware right now that I keep adjusting my back. I'm aware right now that my feet are crossed. I'm aware right now that I can hear the air conditioning. I'm aware that the sun's out. These are all awarenesses of the mind and the body speaking and communicating at all times. It's daytime. Why are we awake? Who said we had to be awake during the day? Why don't we sleep during the day and sleep at night? Because the body decides what it wants to do. The body is aligned with its awareness. The body knows this is my time to rest. This is my time to rise. We have no say in this involuntary act, because the universe knows that our body is a vessel of its use and its clarity and its awareness. And however we choose to walk into this world and walk back out here, single, solo, or in a group, make sure you're still solid within yourself, so that if something like COVID ever happens again, or some type of pandemic, or some type of issue where you're locked away by yourself, you are so solid in yourself that you know that it's not the end. You know that you're going to make it, and you can get out of any situation and conquer whatever you decide to conquer. But you have to be solid in yourself. So please don't run back out here and just start hanging out with people because you missed having somebody else to be your backbone, or you missed having somebody else be your mouthpiece, or you miss somebody else stepping in, stepping up, or doing the work for you. That means you have a codependent group of friends, or codependent relationships, and a codependent understanding of life, because no one's ever given you the ability to be aware of what you can actually do on your own. This is important. Again, the only way this world is going to work, and we're going to keep staying in this beautiful place of empathy and understanding and growing and trying to help community and tribe, is, again, being aware of our different upbringings and understanding at the same time that you do not have to be a part of any group that people tell you to be a part of. I don't care if people yell at you about voting. I don't care if people yell at you about religion. I don't care what people, you choose what you want to do. At the end of the day, it's going to catch up to you. May it be karma or dharma. Remember that, okay? So I always say, I'm going to keep putting my life along with dharma. And I'm going to make sure all I do is just lay seeds of life and growth for others to pick up and figure out what they want to do with, because that's the toolbox of life. Give each other a toolbox, not just a tool. Okay, so when we start to be aware of, if all I'm doing is self-sabotaging myself, then I'm self-sabotaging somebody else, because they're going to get the energy that I'm giving them. They're going to take that energy and go give it to somebody else, and this has been the cycle of life. We have the opportunity now to cleanse anything and purge anything that no longer belongs to us. Whichever was given to you, conditioned into you, again, there's no way to forget what's happened to you, but you are able to heal it, so that you know the hate that you feel and the pain, that's the pain of the person or the thing or the something that put it in you. When you heal it, you're just like, ooh, man, that did hurt, but it don't hurt today, because I know I'm healed. And that is all it's about, okay? So, what's the word today? Awareness. Thank you. I love you guys as always. Check me out, IG, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. My website, epicenity.org. As always, I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a wonderful, beautiful new day.